This here is simple, tasty and whiskey forward. Let me show you how to make a honey highball. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Matt, I'm the whiskey nerd, and like I said, this week I'm making something simple, sweet and very, very tasty. I'm making a honey highball, and this is a very simple cocktail. I got the idea for making it when I reviewed this whiskey right here. This is the Nikka Pure Malt Black. If you want to see a review of this whiskey, I'll put a link up there. There'll be a link down below. Very, very nice whiskey from the Nikka distillery. It's a blend of whiskey that's kind of smoky and another whiskey that's more fruity and light and has a nice bit of like almost honey dense flavor to it. And when I was thinking of like what kind of cocktail I wanted to make with this, I said I didn't want to hide the flavor of the whiskey. I wanted the whiskey to kind of pop and to come through. So I said I'll make a honey highball. So this here is a honey syrup. It's about, I wouldn't say it's like a rich, it's not like a 2-to-1 honey syrup. It was, I think, 40 ml of water, and then I added 60 ml of honey. So I just brought it up to 100 ml to make like a kind of nice semi-thick kind of 1.5-to-1 honey syrup, and I know it goes well with this whiskey because, like I said, that whiskey has a bit of smoke, a bit of density, but also this really nice honeyed, rich mouthfeel. And it also just will be topped up like a classic highball with some sparkling water. You can use some like ginger ale or something like that, some ginger beer if you want. If you want that bit of extra sweetness, if you want that bit of extra kind of that, you know, the classic kind of flavor you get from whiskey and ginger ale. But for me, because I wanted to highlight this whiskey right here, I said, let's just keep it simple, keep it at that plain old sparkling water. And since it's so simple, we're just gonna build it in the glass. So I've got a nice highball glass here. I'm gonna pop a little spear of ice, like a big old ice cube, into there before we measure our ingredients. Starting off with this lovely Japanese whiskey. We're gonna go in with 45 ml or 1.5 ounces of our whiskey. We could go in with a bit more, but I don't want the whiskey to be dominating the cocktail. I want to have a nice bit of flavor, a nice bit of weight without just being the only thing you can taste. So for me, for a highball, like 1.5 ounces, 45 ml is where it's at. Next up, our semi-rich kind of 1.5-to-1 honey syrup. Gonna go in with 20 ml of this because that's gonna give us that nice bit of sweetness while not changing the core flavor of that whiskey, because you're gonna keep that kind of honeyed flavor of it. Ooh, yes, just like that, just into there. Real quick, before we add in our sparkling water, just gonna give it a quick stir, get that honey syrup and the whiskey incorporated, and then we're just gonna top it up with our sparkling water. We do want a fair bit of sparkling water in here because we do like a highball to have that bit of length to it, that bit of kind of, I don't know, easiness to drink because you have that bit of length to it. Then for a garnish, a little simple slice of lemon into there. Pop a straw in, and that right there is how we make the honey highball. Now real quick before I taste this cocktail, if you're new here, scroll down, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I put out whiskey reviews like the review of that Nikka Pure Malt Black every Friday, every Wednesday, and I put out cocktail recipes like this featuring whiskey every Friday. So if you want to see more like that, make sure you hit subscribe. But now let's taste this cocktail. Oh, that's nice. That is lovely because the whiskey has this really nice rich smokiness to it. It has, I wouldn't say like this acrid or the sharp peat flavor you do get with some kind of heavily peated Scotch whiskies. It has a nice kind of earthy, smoky peat flavor to it, along with that honeyed kind of character to it. So it has a nice rich flavor, and it just kind of, it comes through really well. And that honey syrup almost like lifts up the whiskey a little bit because you lengthen it. Yeah, you lengthen it with the soda water to bring it up, to give it a bit of effervescence, and then the honey syrup just backs it up. It means it's not just whiskey and soda, which can be kind of sharp and can be unappetizing. It gives it that bit of sweetness without fighting against the whiskey. The little bit of lemon there just adds a little bit of zest, a little bit of like a citrusy zest to the cocktail without, again, taking away from the core flavor in the whiskey. So I think I'm definitely going to keep on enjoying this, and I'll see you next time. Slán.